All right. I need to start here, boys. So, your eyes here, okay? We're not doing journal, we're not doing idiom today. We're starting right here. I have a job, you have a job, okay? You're listening right now, that's all you're doing. My job is to teach you, guide you, and cheer you on. Okay, that's one of my jobs. I also need to make sure that I give you time to think, time to talk, and time to ask questions. Hopefully I can do that today. And finally, my job is to help you find success and do well. I really want you to do well with our job today. Repeat after me, please. My job.
My job.
Try it again. My job.
My job.
Is to listen.
Is to listen.
Participate and try.
Participate and try.
My job.
My job.
Is to think.
Is to think.
Talk.
Talk.
And ask questions.
And ask questions.
And my job.
And my job.
Is to focus.
Is to focus.
Work.
Work.
And try again.
And try again.
Okay, thank you. That's your job, and I have my job. Together we get things done. Do you have assigned partners to talk to? No? Okay, so here we go. We'll do, I'm going to ask you, sir, what's your name?
Victor.
Victor? Okay, Victor, you're going to move into this row here. Right, you got partners now, and you guys got partners here, and you guys have partners there. All right, partner A. Okay, partner A. Your job is to let your partner know which of these jobs is easiest for you and which do you find most difficult. And when A is done, partner B, you tell your partner, I think the job that's easiest for me is this part, and also the most challenging one for me is this part. Okay? So go ahead, partner A, you begin. Go ahead. I find. I think. Finish up, partner B. 3, 2, and 1. Thanks, boys, for your participation. Okay? Our agenda today is the following. 1, do the job you find easiest, of course. 2, work on the part that's hardest for you, that you just talked to your partner about. We'll finish that. We have an objective today to get done. We'll be part of the circuit from back a few weeks ago. Okay, we're going to take part of the reading that we've done a while ago. We'll analyze and write, and we'll close with the objective in mind. All right, that's what we're doing. Okay, so objective. Let's start with that. You all are entering school as 6th graders with the adoption of, I'm going to use your desk because I'm trying to get a little organized. With the adoption of Common Core State Standards. Common Core State Standards. And the standard is the work and the skills you're supposed to know as 6th grade. And then what will happen is you go to 7th grade, and they will teach you the standards to be a 7th grader. And you go all the way to 12th grade. Okay? Now, one of the standards is reading literature. RL, reading literature. Grade 6, standard 1. 6.1, grade 6, standard 1. Focus on me. I know you don't often have teachers talking in the back. Focus on me. I'm going to read, then you're going to repeat after me when we do the second time. Cite textual evidence to support analysis of what the text says explicitly, as well as inferences drawn from text. Huh. All right, we'll see how that sounds when you say it, and then we'll figure out what it means. Okay? Repeat after me. Repeat after me. Cite textual evidence.
Cite textual evidence.
To support analysis.
To support analysis.
Of what the text says explicitly.
Of what the text says explicitly.
As well as inferences.
As well as inferences.
Drawn from text.
Drawn from text.
Excellent. Now, one thing to do is to read the standard. And most importantly, is to understand it. What does cite mean? C-I-T-E. That's for each of you. We have one person. Cite. Cite textual evidence. 3 people now know. 4 people have a guess. Cite textual evidence. We're probably going to be doing some writing. Cite textual evidence. All right, look, we got 8, right? Well, almost half. No, we got half. Right, excellent. Okay? All right, yes, sir.
I think cite is to underline, circle important text in the story.
Yeah, that's a good definition. There's a little something else we need in there, though. Yes, sir.
Do you to use the text to support what you're writing?
Yeah, so it includes the underlining part, but what we actually also need to do is we need to write what that text says. Okay, so we're going to write it down. Okay? So we're going to write textual evidence, the words from the text, to support analysis. What's analysis? What's analysis? When you analyze something, what are you doing? What are you doing? We have one hand. What are you doing when you analyze something? We have two. Okay, I'm analyzing you right now by looking at you. Your teachers in the back row are analyzing my approach to this work. Now I have 7, 8 hands. 8.5. And 9. All right, nicely done. 10. All right, look at that. We got over half now. How nice. Yes, sir. What does analyze mean?
It means like observe.
To observe, to look, to what else? To yes, sir.
To go over it.
To go over it. To
Study.
to study. Okay. So we're going to put. I'm going to combine all that. And I'm going to say think, because I think when you observe and do all those things, you're thinking. All right. So to support thinking about of what the text says. Okay. Explicitly, very clearly. Okay, clearly. Explicit is clearly, or explicitly is clearly. What's an inference? Oh, got a couple of hands. Inference, 3, 4, 5, 4.5, 5, 5. Not bad, not bad, 5. Okay. You know what I like now? Even if you don't know, some of your, well, if I look like I'm thinking, that'll help me out. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Okay. Looking down, looking away, doesn't help you. So pretend, get your frame of mind, get that facial expression thinking, and your brain will follow. Okay? What does inference mean? Victor? Okay, remember, because that's Andy, right? All right, good. Go ahead, Victor.
I think inference is to think about what you're writing.
It's a thing about what you're writing, but there's something else about it when you infer. There's something else. I almost said the answer, Andy.
You predict?
You predict because what's not there? What's not there yet? Yeah, the answer's not there. So you think about something without the evidence. Okay, so the evidence isn't totally clear. Okay, without evidence. So for example, I want you to infer my facial expression, go. Yeah, I'm confused. I didn't tell you I was confused. So you didn't have the total evidence, but you were looking, you inferred. Okay? All right, from the text. So that's what we're doing today. Repeat after me. Today.
Today.
We will write.
We will write.
And think.
And think.
About what the text says clearly.
About what the text says clearly.
And we will write.
And we will write.
And think.
And think.
About the text.
About the text.
When not all the evidence is there.
When not all the evidence is there.
So we're doing two things. We're thinking about exactly what it says and thinking about when it doesn't say exactly what the information is leading us to understand. Okay? So we're going to infer. All right. To do that, we have a couple of questions. Okay? And so you'll get this page in a minute. Right now what you need to do is have this page, which is the text. Okay? You all have the circuit in front of you, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do this. You take one, pass it down. Following our agenda, we did the objective. We're going to think about what's there. We're thinking about and infer. First up, I'm reading. Okay? I'm reading to you. What you're going to do as I read is you're going to underline words that you do not know the meaning of. Okay? Look at me, not outside the door. Hi.
Send a couple boards from
Yep, let's do that.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me.
Okay, first row and.
Why don't we just do the first 2 rows?
Okay.
Yeah, first 2 rows, go ahead. Okay, boys, when you come back, we're going to be reading this, quiet and turn. Okay, now, the circuit, Francisco Jimenez, page 24, so we're going back, all right? Okay, this is typed right out of the book. Our trip to the dump was always an adventure. Oh, one more time. Your job is to underline words you do not know the meaning of, okay? Our trip to the dump was always an adventure. We waited until dusk, after the dump caretaker left, before raiding for treasures because we had no money to buy them. But we went back several more times until we got enough lumber to complete Mama's floor. We also found pieces of linoleum, and good job, underline that word, and laid them over the wood to cover the holes and slivers. The different shapes and colors made the floor look like a quilt. Okay. How many of you remember this part of the book at all? Anybody? Few of you, right? Okay. Because who's coming in the family? Do you remember that? Who's coming in the family? Who's the baby? Right? Mama's pregnant, right? Mama's pregnant. Okay. And what's the job of the boys? To what? To what?
To take care of, Rampita.
Yeah. Okay. And then we'll read a little bit more and figure out what they have to do with the floor here from the dump. Now, in order to understand this whole piece, we have to understand each of the vocabulary words. Okay? All right. So in the first sentence, our trip to the dump, and we had no money to buy them. Does anybody have a word that we need to define? Yes, sir?
Rating?
Rating. Ooh, what's rating? What's rating, yes, sir?
I don't really know how to explain it, but it's like, so some of them has like something and then you're like rating to see what you can get.
Okay, that's starting to create a good visual. Okay, need more language around it, yes, sir, and then ask you.
Stealing?
Stealing, what else?
Getting.
Getting, okay? Not quite stealing, although sometimes rating is for stealing. Rating is to charge in and take. Okay, so sometimes you might hear your family say, maybe in Spanish, but they'll say, why are you raiding the fridge? Taking all the good food. Raiding the snack cabinet, or the snack cabinet, I should say. Okay? But oftentimes you raid, you charge in, and you just start taking. Okay? I needed a pencil, man, so I had to get one. All right? Okay, so raid is charge. Other parts of this first paragraph. What's the vocabulary? Yes, sir?
Dusk?
Dusk. Dusk is sunset. Dusk is sunset. Write that down. If you don't know what dusk is, put a little note on that paper. Dusk is sunset. Yes? First paragraph.
Second.
Yeah, I'm in the first paragraph still. Yes, sir. Makeshift shed. Makeshift is just to put it together quickly. Okay? Put it together quickly. Makeshift is to build quickly. How about that? Build quickly. Build quickly. Yes?
Lumber?
What's lumber, boys? Everybody, go ahead. What's lumber?
What?
Yeah, just wood. So if you go to Home Depot, they have a lumber section with all the different cuts of wood. Anybody else? Okay, paragraph 2. Apparently there's a lot here. Okay, yes sir, start us off.
Late one evening, thinking the caretaker had left, Roberto.
Oh, wait, oh, I'm sorry. We're reviewing vocabulary that you need. Thanks, Miss Allen. Vocabulary you need to find. Yes sir, in the back.
Linoleum?
Okay, linoleum is plastic flooring. Comes in lots of different designs. You probably have linoleum in your house or apartment, in the kitchen or bathroom. Okay, linoleum is a plastic flooring. You probably have it in your kitchen or bathroom. Because when it gets wet, it won't work. Because it's plastic. Okay? Alright. Yes, sir.
The caretaker?
The person who takes care. Yeah, the person who takes care. Yes. Write it down if you don't know it.
Slivers?
Slivers. Have you have an idea what a sliver is? Sliver, what's a sliver?
Like a little party?
Yeah, little part. So a sliver is a small piece. It's often very thin, broken off on an edge. So if you were to take apart a piece of wood and a little chunk came off in the corner, that would be a sliver. We often get slivers if you run your hand across a piece of wood. Ah! That little piece of wood that gets in there, that's a sliver. Don't even want to think about it. Sliver. Any more? Yes, sir.
Quilt?
Quilt. What's a quilt? Oh, a couple of your friends know. Yes, sir. Hold it.
It's like a blanket.
It's like a blanket, but what makes it special? What makes it a quilt?
Somebody makes it.
Somebody does put it together. What makes it more special?
It has little figures.
And it has little figures. That can be true. Yes.
It's small.
It's small. Sometimes it can be small. A quilt is a blanket that's put together with pieces of things. Oftentimes they're squares, and you put pieces of squares together, sew them all together, it's a quilt. But it doesn't have to be squares. It could be triangles that people put together. It just depends. But a quilt is pieces sewn together to make a whole. All right, actually, let's write that down. All right, let's do this first. Pieces sewn together to make a whole, in this case, blanket. All right, and our piece is quilts. All right, yeah?
Rubbish?
Rubbish. What's rubbish, boys? What's rubbish? Go ahead. What's rubbish?
Like something useless?
Something useless, yeah. What's another word from the T for something useless? Go ahead.
Trash.
Trash, yeah, rubbish is trash. Okay, let's keep moving. So I just read to you. Now what you're going to do is you're going to read to each other one more time, just to make sure you understand it. As you read, you're welcome and encouraged to use both the word as written and the definition. Because if you read it with the definition too, then your brain gets to know the words better. So for example, it says, the dump keeper who had hidden behind one of the mounds of rubbish or trash took us by surprise. So I would put in both there. Okay? Partner A, you read paragraph 1. Partner B, you read paragraph 2. Okay?